What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Locked in Sports, bringing you my six best bets for today, Wednesday, March 27th, in the NBA. Before we hop into those picks, we gotta hop into the recap. But before the recap, I just want to say that if you guys are watching these videos a lot, or if you're new here and you're making money off of them, which, let's be fair, I know you are because we have a great streak on the channel, a really good winning streak. Don't know it off the top of my head, but it's down in the description below. Then consider subscribing and turning on notifications. It really does help out the channel grow, and it helps you out because when videos get uploaded, so you can take the lines as I post the video, which is generally the best time to take lines since they really only raise after my videos go out. Also consider commenting, liking the video. It all just helps out, and I appreciate it a lot. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop into a recap of yesterday. Great day, really awesome day, a 4-1 day, but it just felt good. I like to toast to 5-0 days or sweeps with my Rams mug. This is a 4-1, so it's not getting a Rams mug sweep, but it's getting a Baja Blast sweep. Just got to throw it out to that day. It was great picks. We had Giannis Antetokounmpo for over 5.5 first quarter points. He ended with 7, but he got them so quick. I'm going to be real. I missed the first 3 minutes of the game. By the time I turned the game on, Giannis had beat his line. I didn't see him get the points, but he killed it immediately. We had Nikola Jovic for over 6.5 points. Crushed it in the first quarter. He had 7 in the first quarter. I know the line raised to 7.5 later on. He killed that too. He ended with 10 total. Great pick right there. We had Chris Middleton for over 5.5 assists. Ooh, he made us sweat. He ended with 7, but did take him to overtime to clear the line. But hey, he beat the line. That's all we're asking for. Great pick right there. We had Chet Holmgren for over 15.5 points. He cleared it with 16. It was close, but he hit. Like always, yeah. The one pick that didn't hit, unfortunately, Bam Adebayo for over 10.5 rebounds. He had 9. Yeah, he just did a really terrible job rebounding in the second half. Don't know what happened to him. Looked like he was going to clear the line, and then he just kind of fell off. And I think he only grabbed 1 board in the fourth quarter, which is really unfortunate. But, I mean, hey, things like that happen sometimes. Not going to be too mad about it because we had a 4-1 day. The big winning day. Let's take it. But now, let's hop into my 6 best bets for today, Wednesday, March 27th in the NBA. Let's do it. Now, this first pick is one that I'm really confident in, but it's a really weird pick because it's Kawhi Leonard for under 33.5 PRA. He's only been averaging 21.7, 5, and 2.7 over his last 10 under this line, and he averages 26 and 3 against Philly, 4, 5 PRA under this line. And he's under this line in his last 6 games in a row. Yeah. I'm not saying Kawhi's a bad player. We know he's not, but he hasn't been playing at this level recently, and this isn't a good matchup for him. So I'm really not sure why his line's this high. I don't have much else to say about it. It's just Kawhi's not going over this line. I'm taking Kawhi Leonard for under 33.5 PRA. Next up, I'm taking one of Kawhi's teammates, another Clipper, but it's an over this time. I'm taking Norman Powell for over 13.5 points. He's been averaging 18.6 over his last 10, 5 above this line, and he dropped 20 on Philly in his one matchup against him this season. Yeah, way above this line. He's over it in 4 of his last 5. I don't get why the line's this low. If I'm being oblivious to some obvious detail, let me know in the comments, but the way I see it, this is the easiest lock of the day. I'm taking Norman Powell for over 13.5 points. Now, hopping over to the New York Knicks, I'm taking another under. I know, I should have said it before, but unders aren't fun to bet on. I get it. But when they're locked in picks, when they're going to make you money, we take them here because they're free money. Like this, Josh Hart for under 13.5 rebounds. He's only been averaging 11.4 over his last 10, and he only averages 8 8 against Toronto. Why is this line so high? Because he dropped 14 in his last game. Yeah, that's the only game in his last 5 where he's gone above this line. And he only dropped 14 because he stayed in the game longer than he otherwise would have, and he was seeing more action because the Knicks wanted to get him to his 6th triple-double of the season. He needed the assists, he stayed in the game longer than he otherwise would have, and he happened to get some rebounds along the way. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Josh Hart's not going over this line. He's just not. So I'm taking Josh Hart for under 13.5 rebounds. Next up, I'm taking Ochai Agbaji of the Toronto Raptors for over 15.5 PRA. It's a really low line for him. He's been well over this line in his last 5 games. He's been crushing it recently. A lot of Raptors are hurt right now. It would take too long to list them all. But the ones that are left are seeing a lot of increased usage, and Ochai is one of those guys. He's been killing it over his last 5 games. I think he's going to do the same here. Why is his line so low? Because this is technically a bad matchup for him. Against the Knicks previously, he didn't do great, but that was when he was seeing way fewer minutes and way fewer looks because more of the Raptors were healthy. I think the only reason his line is low is because the sports books aren't looking at the fact that this isn't a bad matchup for him. He just hasn't had time with the ball previously against the Knicks. So I think this is a really good spot to back Ochai Agbaji for over 15.5 PRA. Next up, I got a fan favorite, one of my favorites, a locked-in sports legend. It's MPJ. I'm taking Michael Porter Jr. for over 16.5 points. Why? Because, as always, his line is criminally low. He's been averaging 18.5 over his last 10, 2 above this line. He averages 19.5 against the Suns, 3 above this line, and he's over in 3 of his last 5. The line's too low. It's a good spot to back him. And Aaron Gordon, the other starting forward on the Nuggets, is questionable. If Aaron Gordon doesn't play, Michael Porter Jr. kills this line. Not a doubt in my mind. I bet my house on it. He goes way over this line. Even if Aaron Gordon plays, he's still in a good spot to go over this line. Don't know why it's so low. Not going to question it. I'm taking Michael Porter Jr. for over 16.5 points. Now to my 6th and final pick of the day. I'm taking Grayson Allen of the Phoenix Suns for over 11.5 points. Why? Same story as all these other picks. The line is way too low. He's been averaging 16.8 over his last 10 games. He averages 20.5 against Denver, almost double this line. He's over in 3 out of his last 5, and the only reason his line's so low is because he missed this in his last 2 games. But that was against the Spurs. It's a weird matchup. Yeah. They set his line weirdly low because he had 2 bad games in a row. Now he's playing a completely different team, completely different defense, and a defense that he's shown he does really well against. He's going way above this line. I love these days where there are 12 games being played because we can dig up 6 picks that are really, really locked in, where the lines just don't make sense and we can capitalize on it. Yeah, it might be a ton of extra research, but it's also a ton of free money. So I'm locking in Grayson Allen for over 11.5 points. All right, those were my 6 best bets for today, Wednesday, March 27th in the NBA. Now, as always, I got my cutting room floor picks. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of research for these videos, especially on big days like this, and I dig up a ton of picks that I like, but they don't make it to my top 6, and I'd rather not leave them on the cutting room floor. So I like to hand them out to you guys, and if you need something to add to a parlay, or you just like the player, or you're feeling good about the pick anyway for whatever reason, then these are additional picks that I fully endorse, and yeah. I'm going to rattle them off real quick because there are a lot of them today. I've got Darius Garland for over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. He's been averaging above this in his last 10, and he dropped 10 and 4 on the Hornets a couple days ago. Trey Mann for over 9 rebounds plus assists. We just took this line, and he killed it. He almost beat it in the first half. He's averaging 5.3 and 5.1 in his last 10. well above this line. Oh, a little bit above the line. Denny Advaji for over 8 rebounds. He's averaging 9.8 over his last 10, averaging 9.7 against the Nets, and he's over in 4 out of his last 5. That one almost made it into the video. I really like it. I ended up taking it. I've got James Harden for over 8.5 assists. He's averaging 10.3 over his last 10. He dropped 14 on Philly, and he's over in 4 of 5. Santi Aldama for over 2.5 first quarter points, averaging 4.7 over his last 10, but he's only averaging 3 against the Lakers. Still a good spot to back him. DeMar DeRozan over 26.5 points. He's averaging 24.9 over his last 10, bit under, but he averages 29 against the Pacers. Fast-paced team. Way above that line. And he's over in 3 of his last 5. Like back him there. Nikola Vucevic for over 10.5 rebounds. He's averaging 14.5 against Indy, but only 10 over his last 10. Fast-paced team. You can capitalize on it for us. I got Jamal Murray for over 11 rebounds plus assists. He's averaging 5 and 7.8 over his last 10. And he dropped 7 and 9 on Phoenix previously in the season. And he's over or tied this line in 3 out of his last 4 games. All right. I know that was quick, but I hope you got some good picks out of that. Saw some that you liked and you can make some money with them. But that is going to be it for today. As always, leave a comment with your picks and parlays. Let me know what you're taking. I love seeing what you guys take because I like sweating out the bets with you. Honestly, when you guys leave a comment in there and you let me know which of my picks you're taking or your own picks you're taking, I pay attention to those lines extra, and I'm there with you guys, really hoping they hit. It makes the games more fun. And as always, subscribe. If you have friends who are in the NBA betting community and you want to share these videos with them, you should. I mean, hey, you're making them free money. It's not hurting you. And leave a like if you like the video. And that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's make some money and have a good one. Yeah.